The new week, but not just any week. It is championship week in college basketball. NCAA tournament bids on the line. I've got a free winner coming up on the SoCon final. Also, a decent amount of NBA to discuss here on Monday. But first, just a reminder to click subscribe if you have not already done so. I always appreciate your support of the Power 5 here on WagerTalk TV. Also appreciate the support for the special offer that Mark Zinno, my Morning Wager co-host, and I are currently running for March Madness. If you didn't know, you can get all of Mark and I's college basketball selections for the rest of the season for just $198. We are number one and number two in college basketball the last 30 days. I personally am on a sizzling 32, 12, and 1 CBB run. Have a play loaded tonight at wt.buzz/BP. But let's now talk about that SoCon final, which is Furman versus Wofford, 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Furman has taken the early money up from a pick'em to -2 as of this recording. Looks like you can still grab Furman -1.5 at DraftKings. I agree with the line move. Furman, since February 1st, guys, has been the SoCon's best team per Torvik. They've won 6 in a row. Just knocked off the 1 seed Chattanooga in the tournament semifinals yesterday. Did need overtime to do so, but I'm not overly concerned about that because Furman and Wofford both are playing their third game in 3 days here, so fatigue a factor on both sides. Should also note, Wofford's had a pretty easy run to this final, beating East Tennessee State and VMI. Meanwhile, Furman, they not only just beat the top seed Chattanooga, but also Samford before that, who Ken Palm has rated as the second best SoCon team for the season. I think Furman wins it here. Again, yours truly, 32, 12, and 1 college basketball run at wagertalk.com right now. Head on over to wt.buzz/BP to get my top college hoops play for Monday. Now let's go to the NBA, where I do have a 4% best bet on Monday as well. My first play in the association since the All-Star break for clients. A reminder that while me being up 64.4 units over the last 19 days is all college basketball and soccer, I am also plus 37 units in the NBA going back to the 2023 finals. There's some pretty grotesque underdogs I'd like to point you towards on Monday in the NBA. Let's see if I can get you to smash the like button on any of these. How about Utah getting 17.5 at Boston, 7:40 Eastern? Yes, I know the Celtics have won and covered 4 in a row since losing to the best team in the Eastern Conference, that being the Cleveland Cavaliers, but only one of those 4 wins was by more than 10 points. Celtics also got a little lucky on Saturday versus the Lakers. LeBron James had to leave the game with a groin injury. Of course, that helped us cash Boston -7, which I gave out on Saturday's Power 5. This just feels like a game where the Celtics screw around and fail to win by margin. They have a losing ATS record at home this season, even with an average margin of victory of 8.4 points per game. They would need to more than double that margin to cover here. By the way, probably no Kristaps Porzingis, while Jason Tatum and Al Horford both listed as questionable. Also at 7:40 Eastern, Washington +7 at Toronto. The Raptors should not be a 7-point favorite against any professional basketball team. I know the Wizards really stretch the definition of the word professional, but they did just beat the Raptors 118-117 here in Toronto on Saturday, and they did so as only 4-point underdogs. Odds makers know a lot of you think Toronto can't lose twice in a row to the Wizards, so they're making you pay a premium. Don't fall for the trap. Washington has actually won 2 in a row and led by as many as 13 in the third quarter on Saturday. Next, let's go to Phoenix +4.5 at Memphis, 8:40 Eastern tip-off. Again, I know you all hate the Suns, but they've covered 3 straight in 4 or 5. Yesterday, they won as 6.5-point road favorites at shorthanded Dallas. Shot 58% from the field in that game. Still have a shot at making the play-in tournament. This team, I think, is some of the players, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, these guys are proud players. They don't want to miss the playoffs. Meanwhile, Memphis has covered the spread just one of its last 9 games, a stretch that has seen John Morant go 10 of 60 from three-point range. It's a big revenge spot for Phoenix tonight, too. They're 0-3 straight up against the Grizzlies this season. All of those games decided by 7 points or less. The last one went to overtime. The Grizz have been pretty bad defensively as of late. Just can't trust them laying points right now. All right, I will give you one favorite today in the NBA as we close out the Power 5. It is Houston, -4.5 at home against Orlando. Rockets have won 6 of the last 8 home games. It was a blowout against New Orleans on Saturday, 146-117. Lately, we've seen Houston make some lineup changes. They've gone big. It's worked so far. Meanwhile, Orlando, while they upset Milwaukee on Saturday, before that, they were on an 0-5 straight up at ATS slide, and the Magic remain the lowest scoring team in the NBA. Can't see them hanging in Houston, where the Rockets are 21-10 straight up this season. All right, let's now do a quick recap of the Power 5 for Monday in college. I like Furman minus 1.5 against Wofford in the SoCon final. NBA, what a rogues gallery this is. Utah plus 17.5 at Boston. Washington plus 7 at Toronto. Phoenix plus 4.5 at Memphis. And then lastly, Houston minus 4.5 versus Orlando. Go ahead and comment down below with your thoughts. Also, don't be shy to let us know what else you may be betting on tonight. When you're done doing that, head on over to wt.buzz/BP. Last reminder, March Madness special I mentioned earlier. 2 premium plays for me on Monday, 1 in college, 1 in NBA. Hope you enjoyed the show. Smash that like button if you did. Until next time, let's cash some tickets.